Though?
Now live.
Okay, here we are. First time. We just received a message that we can go live because we have more than 1,000 subscribers. And it's going to be an exciting time because we've never done this before. This is also the first time that we are making apple fritters in Sri Lanka. Apple fritters, we call them in Holland apple flappen. They are specifically made in and on the last day of the year, the 31st of December. So I prepared everything so far. It's going to be a live performance that will have all kinds of disturbances from tuk-tuks coming by, and we'll have like natural sounds like cockles or other animals. We're in here live outside because doing it in the kitchen is very hot, and we thought the surroundings are quite nice, so that's why we decided to do it here. Now, first I can tell you a little bit about the ingredients, and then I'll already start making one fritter. And when they're frying, I can explain how the procedure is going. Now, first thing, of course, for apple fritters, you need apples. Now, I had to go to the market, and they don't have the exact apples that we use in Holland, which are like the gold rennets. These are probably called the same here, Granny Smith. Granny Smith. They are those bright green apples. They're hard and they are sweet and sour, which is the taste we want for our apple fritters. Okay, now if you have the apples, you peel them with what we call in Holland a thin peeler. I don't know if you know these things. You see, they're like I think maybe the typical for Europe. You can peel very thin with this little machine. So that's what I did with the green apples with the Granny Smith. And then, because I forgot my apple drill or apple core remover, I had to go to a smith and have one made. Now, with this ingredient, with this little tool, you can make holes in the apples. You see, like that? So you can get the core out. You don't want to have the core in the apple fritters. At the end, when they're already done, they will look a bit like donuts, but they're much more healthier, because it's like the apple inside. We have cinnamon, and we have, which is not so great and not so healthy, is the powdered sugar. Now, of course, I already sliced the apples, as you can see here, and I put the cinnamon powder. Thank God we could find cinnamon powder here. Really strange because you expect in a country where they make cinnamon to find cinnamon powder. We had to go to 3 different supermarkets, and thank God we found this kind of powder. Normally they have the fresh uh, cinnamon, and you have to use a grinder to make the powder. But thank God that was easier, much easier. Now, these are the ingredients. So we have the cinnamon powder, the apple. Now I'm going to do the powdered sugar. I didn't know if they had it here, so I decided to take it from Holland, and that's what you do next. You see? Oh, let's see. Oh, they probably have to. Let's see if I have to get this open. That's what I mean. No, that should be okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's hope that it works. Not really, and maybe it's already because of the moisture here in Sri Lanka. The sugar probably got a bit together. So I have the hope that this powder will come out eventually. Yeah, it does. Thank God for that. Well, that's what I mean with doing things live. Things can screw up that you didn't expect. I probably have to massage the sugar. You can tell here, our cameraman is zooming in on the apples. You see, that's what you want. You want to have plenty of sugar. But I never expected this to happen. The thing was closed, and even then, the moisture, which is often 98% here in the air, will, get the sugar stuck, the powdered sugar. That same thing happens with the pepper. The same thing happens with salt, especially. And in Holland, we use rice corns to keep the salt dry. But even that, when I did that, that didn't really work that well here. So, but that's what you have to deal with in a tropical country. You see how beautiful it is here. We have like a little tropical rainforest here, mini one. These people live in a paradise. Sometimes they don't realize it, but coming from Holland, of course, like I'm living near the sea in Zandvoort, which is also beautiful. But you know, then you realize when you go to Colombo or to a city, then you realize how beautiful it is that you can cook here outside in nature. Okay, so this is, thank God that worked somehow. Now we're going to turn these all around because you want to do them on both sides. Now I'm not going to do them all because I want to start making the fritters without spending too much of the time. So I'll do this side too. You see how that works? This is what you have to do all the time. Ay, 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 ay. So more cinnamon. I think the cinnamon is already getting wet also here, and that makes it more difficult to get through the little holes. Incredibly tiny holes. It was already a problem to get a salt shaker here, something that they don't here. I think I have to take this off and do it by hand, probably best. That's how it works too, you know, maybe it's better to do it like that. So you do the cinnamon and the powdered sugar on both sides. See, and cinnamon, of course, is a beautiful taste. That will cinnamon is always good. Also, when you make apple pie, cinnamon is a very important ingredient. Okay, so we have both sides now with the cinnamon. Now, of course, both sides also want to have the sugar. Now, of course, in the meantime, maybe the cameraman can zoom into the batter we made. That's very simple batter. It's just normal wheat flour, of patent flour, I think call it sometimes, and beer. You know, people think, why buy beer? It makes the batter more lightly because of the stuff. The alcohol will disappear anyway, so you won't get drunk from these apple fritters. You know, the alcohol will go. We don't want to show although maybe they can sponsor us, Lion, the beer company. Okay, now the fat or the oil, that's pure sunflower oil. That's the best because it's tasteless and then it's good to fry in. Now the batter, as I said, flour, beer and some salt, of course mix well. And now you're going to watch and be the witness of making the first fritter. Now because we don't know how they're doing, if the oil is hot enough, we'll try with one. Now you put this, of course, like in the batter. We have this little tool that they made for me here, and then we take it up, split out, and then we put it in here. Now look, that's perfect. That looks perfect, so we can continue with the first apple fritters. Okay, put it in there. Oh, get it out. And there they come. We'll start with the small ones. This is good, this little tool. Perfect, perfecto, as I say. Oh, and of course, like if you do them at home, make sure that you don't have any kids around you because it's very dangerous, this hot stuff. Now, you see they're both sides, eh? Both sides with cinnamon, both sides with the sugar, powdered sugar. I don't know if you do have that in your country. Otherwise, you can just take more normal white sugar, put them in a coffee grinder, for example. Then you can make your own powdered sugar. Now make sure that they get not stuck together. That start looking okay. Of course, for us it's an experiment. Not only that we're doing our first video, you know, live video, but it's also that I'm doing the first time these apple fritters here. I did them last year in the Philippines, and that was quite a success. People love them. Kids love ice cream. They love apples in this kind of way, and they At the end they look a bit like like donuts. Now this last one wasn't so great. I think the pan is not so good. You could use probably a bigger pan than I'm using here, and then they will be fine. Now I have to make some room because after you fry them, you want to make them not so greasy, so you put them on like paper. Now I put the newspaper underneath here, and let's see if I can make it a bit tricky. Yeah, it has to be loose, of course. Okay. Yeah, that goes pretty well. This one lost a bit of the batter, but that's no problem. Now, because of the batter being not completely solid, you'll always have some part that will fall down from the fritters themselves in the pan. And then it's good to have something like this, a spoon and a little plate, where you can take them out, you see, and put them away. So your oil will stay nice and clean. You see those things here? That's normal. That happens all the time. But that's good in the meantime while they're frying to do it. Now, after they're fried, we'll put them on that paper, as I said, and then we serve them with some more sugar, powdered sugar on top. Now, it's a bit cramped here, but I'll put them back there. Okay, now, I think we're doing fine. They'll get the right color, and they look good. I want to see the faces, and the thing is, when we had this apple drill made, I promised the guys from the blacksmith, to bring some apple fritters for them, so they see the end results of their work too. Okay, you see they already start looking, what I said, like little donuts. Maybe the cameraman can zoom in on the fritters. You see, they look like little donuts that you get at the shop sometimes. Never as good as these because these are fresh. Now this is the little thing. I have to probably go a bit like that. Now make sure you get as much as of the oil away from it, and then you can put them here. Okay, this is the first round. First apple fritters in Sri Lanka. It's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. We're very proud to announce the first apple fritters in Sri Lanka, the Dutch apple fritters, or as we call them, apple floppen. Okay. Yeah, they look fine. Look good to me. And they're nice and crispy because of the hot fat. And, they'll taste wonderful. See? Yeah, this is a bit, we can take that off later when it's not so hot. We'll do that. Because you also want to make them look nice. Yeah, it looks good. This is a bit difficult. I think we should use that spoon for this reason. Yeah. Oh, watch out that you don't splash the oil because you will burn alive. Well, not alive, but it won't be pleasant. Okay. You see? These are the ones. Now, here we have a little bit of that, what I said before about the little crusts that end up, and then we put those away. So our thing will be okay. It will be clean because the oil should stay clean. More here. Yeah, this is perfect. In a way, for improvisation, this was a pretty good deal. I'm proud of the cameraman, proud of his assistant cameraman, and I'm a little proud of myself too. So, now I don't know how far, we can't let you taste, that's the only thing I can't do. But you saw the whole procedure. So get the good apples, get the like cooking apples, ask for that, the Granny Smith, or if they have them, the golden, what do you call it? Golden rennets, and cut them in slices, get the cinnamon and the powdered sugar on one side and on the next, so both sides. Make sure you have sunflower oil, nice and hot, like you saw that they really made the right sound, like shh. That's what you want to hear. The batter is very simple. It's flour, beer, and salt. That's all you need. And then, improvise a little bit with the tools that you have. If you don't have an apple drill, you know, maybe see if you could get them on the internet. And otherwise, you have to also improvise. Or do as I did, went to the blacksmith and have one made. It can happen. You can do it. I did it too. Now, I think we're going to enjoy the apple fritters. First Dutch apple fritters made in Sri Lanka in this beautiful natural surroundings. So, enjoy. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you soon again. First live video for Travels D-Zoon. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay? Bye-bye. Are we out of the air?